Welcome, ladies and gents, to Loki Doki land, or at least when he pops home to see Mama Doki. We are, of course, here in Bournemouth ahead of today's game, which should be a rather difficult away trip. But before we crack on with this one, we do have one game to catch up on, and that was, of course, against Ipswich. So, without further ado, let's hop into Football Manager, shall we? After 0 on target in the first half, Williams found the only goal in this one with a header from our corner. Okay, so after that swift and surprising result against Ipswich, which quite frankly was an upset, they dominated us in the first half, we couldn't get a single shot off, we eventually got some shots going our way, and then Williams managed to get himself a header, nod it past the goalkeeper, nice simple win. We've got a lot of news to go through. So first of all is Frankie Terry. Frankie Terry picked up an injury. He picked that up in training, turning awkwardly and managed to sustain a tight thigh. That was for 1 to 3 days. He's back now. He was able to play in the last game, but he's had a bit of fitness issues, so I shoved him on the bench. Didn't really need to bring him on, so he ended up relaxing for quite a bit. In fact, I think I might have brought him on at the back end. I might have brought him on for Brandon. Brandon had a yellow card in that one. After that, we then have more time to keep our promise to Berahino. Now, Berahino, he wanted to leave. He wanted to go play some football. He's transfer listed. Wasn't able to sell him. Nobody came in for him. I even offered him at an undisclosed fee. No one wants him. He's old. He's probably going to just sit on our bench and retire here and be upset that he couldn't go play elsewhere. We then have Nathaniel Klein. Very similar sort of situation with him. He didn't want to be sold though. He wanted to go out on loan. I was asking for his full wage. Surprisingly, no one wants to pay £4,000 per week for him, so he's going to be staying at the club, chilling on our bench. Super sub. We then have Pedder. Just like Berahino, wanted to be sold, couldn't find a club for him, kept offering him out. We've got more time to keep that. Nathaniel Klein has also picked up an injury. He bruised his ankle in training. That was for 1 to 2 days. He's of course recovered from that one. Now, Peterborough's Vickers is named the January Championship Young Player of the Month, but we did have one in the running. That was of course Will Adiapan, who finished second to him. The chairman is also looking to step aside, which is a little bit disappointing. Jason McGill, of course, has been with us since the very start. But Sky Bet Championship side York City are believed to be the subjects of a takeover bid. Hopefully it means plenty of money is coming in, according to a report from ITV Sports. Now, I believe we had these sort of rumours going on at the start of the season, didn't amount to anything. McGill dismissed them. Looks like they're coming back up again. So York City's chairman Jason McGill is looking to sell the club, and a local investor could be in the line for a takeover. If it's a local investor, we're probably not going to get a whole lot of cash, and we do need a bit more cash because our wage bill, I believe, is 110,000. Peterborough, the next lowest, is about 200,000. So we're very cheap on the wages here, although I think I do offer a reasonable wage for our players. Now, York Mentor Month in review. There's one change, and that's to Dion Lawless. So, Dion Lawless has picked up a mixture of personality traits from the mentoring group this month. So, he appears to be handling the pressure of expectation better, which is good because he's a youngster and he's in our starting lineup. He doesn't seem quite as ambitious as he was before. Now, for the game, that's bad. For me, I think that's not too bad. To be honest, I don't mind that because he's probably not going to remain our cam forever. He's probably going to get dropped to the bench, and with him being less ambitious, he's going to be less likely to want to leave the club and happy enough to sit on our bench and be just staying there. So that allows us to have a little bit more depth, allows other clubs not to try nabbing Lawless, who will probably, like I said, end up on the bench. But enough rambling from me. Let's crack on with today's game, shall we? Okay, so it's finally match day, ladies and gents, and as you can see, we are sitting rather pretty up in 11th after that surprise win at home to Ipswich. I almost said at Ipswich, but at home to Ipswich, had a nice, comfortable 1-0 win in that one after playing rather terribly. We honestly should have lost that game, but I'll take a 1-0 win in a game that we should have lost. Anyways, as you can see, sitting nicely up in 11th place does mean we have quite the gap over on Portsmouth. I don't see us slipping down into the relegation zone, nor do I really see us going up into the playoffs. As you can see, there is still an 8-point gap between us and West Bromwich Albion, but victory here today would pull Bournemouth a bit nearer to us, so who knows on that front. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I think we're just going to have to settle for top half at best. We're probably going to slip down to 15th, 16th. As you can see, Sunderland, who was struggling early on, is now in 16th, so with enough rambling from me, let's crack on with today's game. Now, we are, of course, at the Eddie Howe Arena. Yes, the Eddie Howe Arena here in Bournemouth. They are 4th, we are 11th. 3 o'clock kickoff here. Showers are expected at 16 degrees Celsius. Honestly, I wish my bedroom had some showers because it's rather warm in here. Calm here today. Perfect pitch condition and 14,119 tickets have... Sorry, 14,190 tickets have been sold out of a 19,250 capacity. We are, of course, going to head to our team selection. We are going for a cautious approach as we did over in the Ipswich game, and we're going to stick with that one. I believe my assistant, in fact, wanted me to go balanced in that last one. A little bit crazy, but this is our team for today. As you can see, we've got no one to return. Byers should be back. How long is he? 3 to 5 weeks. He's still going to have a little bit of a niggling knock. So probably not going to be back for the next episode because I believe we are going to do the Middlesbrough game in that one. Ian Hall is still out for a good bit. He's got 5 weeks to 3 months on his injury, which means today's team is George in goal, the back line of Fleming, Terry Edipan and Shakin Stevens. Central midfield is Rowley and Sorensen. On the wings is Ayrton and Williams, who of course linked up to get that one and only goal in the last one. And Lawless sitting behind our big girthy meat up front. We are of course going to submit that team and let's head on inside. Okay, I put a break in there and I don't think I really needed to put a break in there because it was probably like 2 or 3 seconds. It was one of those shall I shan't I moments, put a break in, didn't know how long it was going to eke out, but no, you didn't have to wait, and you probably had to wait longer just listening to me describe it now. As you can see from the team sheet, it is the Eddie Howe Arena, as I previously mentioned, and yet they are still managed by Eddie Howe. It's rather weird. We've got the Eddie Howe Arena. Hopefully, our stadium's going to be named after me rather soon, after seeing that they named theirs after their manager. Probably not, but we can keep our fingers crossed. So, bit of pump fist. Let's get a bit of motivation into the lads. We've got nothing to lose here. We know how good we are. Let's show everyone what we are capable of. Our assistant is suggesting nobody expects us to get a result, go out there and enjoy playing without pressure on you. I like my motivation idea. Anyway, Bournemouth are first in the form table. Bournemouth have won. No. There we go. Worked with a few players, but let's head on out. Enough rambling. We can do that in the match. Now, Blackburn, of course, is at home to Middlesbrough. We've got Millwall at home to Sunderland, and Portsmouth is taking on Stoke. But right now, we've got Shakin Stevens throwing it in for Williams. He's going to play it back to Shakin Stevens. Whips it across to Rowley. I was trying to have a little nosy in that corner of the pitch, but the action has me distracted. Whips it into Fleming. Oh, it's a free header for Williams. Come on, Jaden. Back-to-back games. Beautiful pass by Brandon. Now I can look at the marquees and the trapped ambulance, although I think that ambulance might be able to squeeze between the wall and the building. Just might scratch the paintwork a little bit though. Not the greatest of design. Couple of marquees just tucked behind a building, you know. As you do, you put your marquee behind an office building because you know that's where you're going to get the best footfall. No, you put it in front. Put it in front of the building. Not tuck it behind where people are going out for the cig breaks, although I guess it's handy for them, but... Free kick here for Bournemouth, trying to get the equaliser. Oh, graces over the top of the goal. Not a bad little start. Not a bad start indeed. We are starting this one like we finished the last. Injury over in Blackburn to Marsh. And another free kick here for Bournemouth. Whipped in at the back post. Oh, they've cracked it off the bar. Can we clear this one away? De Silva's going to collect it. Whips it back in. Saliba. Oh. And breathe. And breathe, my friends. Breathe. Currently hasn't had any effect on the table. De Silva whipping it in. Kipri nods it. Back post. Oh, lovely block. Can we clear it away, though? Free shots. Christie, though, short of the goal. Goes wide at that near post. So, anyone struggling? Ayrton on a 6-5, the youngster. The big Geff meets also on a 6-5. Do need to keep an eye on those two. Terry's also on a yellow card. Need to keep an eye on that going forward as well. Ayrton, though, comes from the wing and whips himself inside. He's ran past one. Can he get a shot off? Oh, he's darting through the defence. Unfortunately, the shot was dismal. Pretty much passed it into the keeper's hands. Ladies and gents, we remain 1-0 up going into half time. As you can see, they have narrowly been better than us. They've got more XG, more shots in total, more possession. We've been more clinical though, and that is the thing that separates us thus far. I'm happy with your performance. You know what? Things are going well. I know you're capable of better though, lads. Look at this. We've got a few 6.5, 6.4, so there's a few of you who are letting the side down who could be playing better. Shakin Stevens, back-to-back games, you have been playing poor. Fleming's picked it up from the last one. We've got the likes of Ayrton who's struggling today, and Big Geff Meat struggled in the last game as well. So, Big Gaffy is also tired, and so is Ayrton. So, you know what? We're going to make a double substitution a couple of minutes earlier than we usually do. Well, it's about a minute earlier than we usually do. So, as you can see, Jaden Williams is tired. Maybe we swap him out as well. So, Ayrton, you know what? We will swap him out. What we'll do is Weiss would rather be an inside forward. So, we'll put him on support. Lubala can come here, and we're going to risk Terry. Famous last words. Risking Terry. As you can see though, 6-9 for Shakin Stevens. He has started picking things up in the second half. Big Geff Meat dropped to a 6-2 though, and a 6-4 for Ayrton. A little bit rough. Williams, he's been having a good game, but unfortunately is a little bit on the tired side. Middlesbrough though, 2-0 up against Blackburn, and Detroit trying to build up a lead at the top of the table. And right now we are trying to build up a bigger lead in this game in case they try and come back at us. So Weiss, where's he going to go with this one? The legendary Weiss, of course. Plenty of international experience for him. Goes Sorensen, it's safe, but falls to Samuel Vokes. Our record transfer from last season pokes away his third goal off the bench. Super sub Samuel. Lovely job. Absolute beauty of a play there. Two of our oldies, Sorensen in between, not too shabby. Stoke, by the way, up to 9th place now. Sunderland 1-0 down in their game away to Millwall. Ball into the back post. George saves it. Oh, thankfully defence at the back post saves our bacon there, because George, you left it open. You left it open for an equaliser. Millwall has also missed a penalty in that game. They could be 2-0 up. Instead, it's 1-1. Sunderland's just grabbed an equaliser. Well, ladies and gents, you've just picked up a second back-to-back upset. Oh, this one's even bigger though. Away from home. Gotta love it. But there's going to be no catch-up games in the next one. We are, of course, heading away to Middlesbrough, top of the table Middlesbrough, who, of course, picked up a 2-0 victory themselves today. So, I thank you all for joining us in this one. Hopefully, you all have a lovely night, and goodbye.